Treyarch made a concentrated effort to make the main Easter eggs more accessible in Cold War Zombies, going as far as to start calling them main quests instead of Easter eggs. They did so because supposedly less than 2% of all players actually even completed the Easter eggs of games past. And if you think of all of that development time and coding and animating and scripting that these developers need to pour into such intricate Easter egg steps, only to have a mere fraction of players experience it, it must be incredibly disappointing. Cold War's main quests are significantly more logical, sensical, and straightforward. Taking a look at PlayStation profiles, you can see that the Easter eggs of Black Ops 4 were completed by an average of 12,000 players. The outlier, with nearly double that, was 9's Easter egg, coming in at 25,000 players. Then we head on over to Cold War and take a look at D Machine's main quest. It eclipses even 9 with a whopping 38,000 player completion. It's no doubt that this effort from Treyarch was very successful. More players are completing the main quest in Cold War than any other Zombies title, but at what cost? These simpler and easier main quests may be better for the entire player base, but there is a substantial, important aspect to the entire Zombies franchise that is dreadfully absent in the Cold War era of Zombies, and that would be community engagement. So much of what makes Zombies Zombies is the hunt for the main quest. It's a community event that no other franchise has even come close to replicating. Some of my favorite moments of my entire Zombies career has been sitting down and watching other content creators trying to find the next step of the main Easter egg. I remember staying up late to watch Noah J painfully crash over and over on Revelations. I remember falling asleep to Admiral Baru's stream as he ran Voyage over and over. These main quests brought people together. Due to how convoluted, hidden, and yes, nonsensical they really were, it took the entire community to come together and figure out every single step. Perhaps my favorite example of this community engagement has to be at the launch of Black Ops 4. Launching with 4 fully complete maps with main Easter egg quests managed to split the community's efforts. Some would view this as a negative thing, saying that we all couldn't focus on one map at a time, but that's exactly why I loved the idea. Instead of the entire community figuring out a map within a few days, our efforts were split. Players would make some progress on this map and need to catch everyone up on the steps. You'd be watching this group of people stream and then hear someone else make progress and switch over to another streamer, or, oh man, they just crashed, let's see who's next in line, who's next closest to figuring this out. It added another layer of depth that we have yet to see in the Zombies community. The Easter egg hunts are such a pivotal part in the Zombies community. I believe that Cold War, for all of its success, in some ways, was worse because it didn't bring the community together like we had seen in the past. I remember when Zetsubou no Shima was released, and part of its criticism was the fact that the main quest was so easy to complete. From what I could find, it took about 22.5 hours. 22 hours would be incredible for Cold War standards. Most of the Cold War main quests were solved within mere hours. You see, this whole Easter egg hunt is like going on a road trip with your friends. It's gonna take a long time, it might be tedious, there might be some incredibly annoying and unfair things along the way, but in the end, the journey you go through will usually be worth the frustration.
Oh, fuck! Yes! Yes! Oh my god!
It brings the community closer together. It's a way to create and share memories, to reflect back and look on all of the impactful moments in Zombies history, like Der Eisendrache's first boss fight attempt where everyone got wrecked by the Keeper, or how Revelation's main quest was strung out through 9 days. The boss fight arena was found in theater mode. I even explored it a little bit, and everyone had all sorts of theories regarding the freaking shine on the headlight of the car. If Revelations was better designed, yeah, it wouldn't be as frustrating, but we would never have these memories. We would never have those moments. I cannot think of a single moment in all of the Cold War's main quests where people were stuck and trying to find the next step for hours and hours and days on end. I cannot think of a moment where I was enthralled with a live stream, just waiting with bated breath for the next big moment to occur. I cannot think of any moment where the community was so frustrated and then finally something was figured out and felt such a gust of aha, yes, we figured it out finally. And we're not just missing out on those community experiences either. I believe that the main quests themselves don't feel as satisfying as they used to. The amount of excitement and hype that the community felt around finally beating the Keeper.
Oh, we're gonna blow up the moon!
Or finally hearing the introduction of Dr. Monty.
I'm Dr. Monty.
or seeing Richtofen sacrifice himself, or the amazing twist of Medusa in Ancient Evil.
Huh? Huh?
Those moments were, in part, so impactful because of how much work the community spent discovering the steps to get there. Without these moments, Zombies doesn't feel as impactful anymore. There isn't that same necessity for the community to come together to solve these things. Say what you will about how complicated, difficult, nonsensical, and unfair the Easter eggs of previous zombie titles were, there was something truly special about them too. So is that it for classic complicated Easter eggs? Are we forever forced to have these simple and easy main quests for the rest of the zombie mode? I certainly hope not. Because the solution to this conundrum is quite simple. Just have 2 main quests. Like I said, it was simple, not easy. But we've seen this thing before with World War II's The Final Reich. That map had a casual Easter egg and a hardcore Easter egg. But you don't even need to do that. You could bring back the difficulty settings from Black Ops 4. And then you have the casual difficulty with the Cold War easy style main quest. And then on the other side, you have the normal or hardcore difficulties where you have the more complicated and challenging main quest. They could both lead to the same endings, or maybe the hardcore main quest gives players more rewards or more intel or a different cutscene or a bonus cutscene like a mid-credit scene. I know this is a huge ask, but now is relatively early in development and now's the time to ask for it. So much development time goes into making these intricate main quests, unfortunately only to have such a small amount of people to actually complete them. However, having 2 separate main quests might encourage the players to give the harder main quest a try. But beyond that, genuinely, honestly, I would argue that the sheer completion percentage that Treyarch is looking at is not a good enough metric. Just take me, for example. I have incredibly fond memories of Zombies just by watching someone else complete the Easter eggs. In fact, that's how I became a fan of Zombies. I remember watching NGT Zombies post updates on their Easter egg hunts throughout the entirety of Black Ops 2. And as you can tell, I have countless memories from watching the hunt during Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. And like I just said, I don't have that many fond memories of solving any quests from Cold War. So no, you can't just look at completion percentage. The community engagement and that community sentiment is more than just a metric on a piece of paper. It's emotional, it's alive, it's human. I believe the demand is there for more complicated Easter eggs. The desire to watch the community come together for a huge event is one of the main things that separates the Zombies community and the Zombies franchise from any other game out there. At this point, I would feel pretty disappointed if, from now on, the main quests were just as easy as all of Cold War's. Now is the time I have to expose myself. Up until Cold War, I had only completed Der Eisendrache and Zetsubo no Shima's main quest, because I thought the Easter eggs were too convoluted, complicated, nonsensical, and difficult. And yeah, I was part of the problem. It wasn't until Cold War, with those easy main quests, gave me the confidence and skills to go back and complete more main quests. And by no means are these old Easter eggs perfect. There are some garbage steps that can be easily fixed, but it genuinely blows my mind how much amazing content, how many unforgettable experiences I lost out on by not completing these main quests back in the day. So I'm on my journey to complete as many Easter eggs that I can, if not all of them. So please join me on this journey by clicking on that video, subscribing, and stay beautiful.